everybody, this is Michael at Fouts Fabs. Today we are going to be looking at the difference between granite and quartz. When people come in to buy countertops from me, I would say at least 80% of them ask me what's the difference in granite and quartz. And if they have read anything off the internet from the quartz marketing end, they're going to hear things one way, and from the granite marketing end, they're going to hear things another way. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of show you a few of the strengths of granite and a few of the strengths of quartz. They are both high quality products. They will both last you a lifetime in the kitchen, and they're both beautiful. I tell people all the time, do not go by what they tell you online, go by what you like visually. Because what one lacks in one area, the other might lack it in a different area. So they're both good, neither one of them is perfect, so just go with what you like visually. But I'm going to show you a few of those differences right now. So we'll start first with the quartz. What I've got here is I've got several different colors of quartz, just different styles. Quartz comes from a variety of manufacturers. They're one of the more popular ones is Silestone. Quartz is very, very strong, like wood is strong. We could take a 2x4, we could walk around the shop, throw it up in the air, it's not going to break. Quartz is man-made. It's 93% quartz out of the ground, ground up with a 7% composite, and then they put a color pigment in it to match the veinage and things like marble would have. Marble's really soft, so a lot of people stay away from that with the kitchen, so they get the quartz. Also, quartz has a lot of uniform colors to them. A lot of people like that uniform look. You can also get some nice light colors. They have a solid white quartz, which you couldn't get a solid white in a granite or a marble. It would always have some type of veining in it. So that's another plus for the quartz. With the strength of the quartz, like I was saying, it's like the wood. Just to show you an example here, I'm just going to drop this on the floor kind of at arm's length and let you see what happens. We can actually drop a few of them and let you see the difference in how they drop. So this is one, it's a small piece, and of course the smaller the piece, the less likely it is to break, but we'll just drop it. That one broke. So that is quartz. Let's try another one. We're going to do this one. Maybe I ought to not drop this up as high, I don't know. So we'll drop it. That one broke too. Alright. This one here. Let's go a little lower. That one stayed together. Go a little higher. It broke, but not real bad. That one seems to be the strongest out of the three so far. Now we've got this one. I'm not going to drop it. I'm going to bang it. They all seem to break when I drop them. Try to drop this one. They all break from the weight on this concrete, but it's pretty strong. Now what I'm going to do is show you how the granite compares. I was not expecting it to break like that on the ground. This is a new experiment for me too. So what I've got on the granite end here is I've got a couple different styles. This is Luna Pearl. It's, as far as hardness, toughness goes, it's middle of the range. This is Absolute Black. I know it's got a little gray in it, but that's the name of it, absolute black. It's at the top end of the spectrum on the hardness scale. You can tell if you tap things together on them, the difference in the sound. As they get softer, they'll be a little less high pitched, I guess. And then you get all the way here to the softer end. It's more dull, like a woodish sound. So we got medium of the line, super hard. This blue pearl here, it's super hard as well. This one here, Venetian ice, it's middle of the road. And this Arctic taupe here, it's at the softer end of the spectrum. With your upper levels, a lot of them, they'll have a mesh on the back. You can see this mesh here. That helps hold all the particles together. You've got a lot of veining and fissures in your higher end stones. This stuff right here, if you would feel it to the touch, it's super slick. I call it fish scale. It's actually a mica, I guess. And we can take a knife actually, and we can dig this stuff out. It's actually really flaky. It's kind of like a glitter or something. When you cut into this stuff, when you get to these spots, if you have a seam or something, nothing will stick to it. So a lot of times when I'm fabricating it, I'll have to dig it out with a knife and actually put something else in there. But if you look at it on the top side, that fish scaly stuff, it's this black lines and veins here, and it gives you all that nice, shiny, sparkly look. And if you look at it down like this, you can see all the sparkles and stuff coming out. It's just what makes it beautiful, but it also makes it hard for the fabricators to work with. You can see I'm pulling this apart kind of with my hands here, and it's very, very brittle. And this is it's a higher end stone, but it's just all those different particles in there that's causing it to be like that. And a lot of times what makes something beautiful also makes it a little harder to work with. All right, so now we'll go over here and we're going to tap some of these on the floor and kind of let you see the difference. We'll grab these two middle of the packs here. This first one here is the Luna Pearl. I'm going to hold it out just like I did the quartz. I'm pretty sure it's going to break. It did, but to me it didn't break no worse than that quartz did. Alright, this is the Venetian ice, middle of the pack. Hold it out as well. Wow. That is surprising to me. That did not break. It actually fissured a little bit. As you can see it right there, it's got a crack through it, but it did not fall apart like those quartz ones did. So now I'll go back over here and I will grab some of these top of the line granite pieces. This one here, this is blue pearl. It's at the top end of the hardness scale. It's very tough. We're going to drop it as well. It broke, but still didn't break no worse than the quartz did. This one here, absolute black. It's at that top hardness scale. I'm pretty sure it's going to break. And it did. But, see, with the quartz, when I was banging it like that, you know, it didn't break as easy. That one's small, so it's not going to, but where the Granite breaks a little easier like that. All right, this is the softer of the granites, the Arctic taupe, but it's also got the mesh on the back. So we're gonna drop it. And it cracked, it broke, but you can see it stayed together because of all the mesh on it. Still pick it up, and it did not shatter as bad as some of these other hard ones. All right, so now we've done the drop test, and it, quite frankly, surprised the heck out of me. I wasn't not expecting the quartz to break like that, and I was not expecting some of these granites, like the Venetian ice, to stay together like it did. So I've got some chemicals, some paint, a torch, razor blade, a stone, and some sandpaper over here. And we was just going to do a few other tests on the quartz and granite. The first one I would like to do is a scratch test. So I've got a razor blade, I've got sandpaper, and I've got the stone. I've got a piece of quartz here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take this razor blade. If I was setting up a seam to make sure it's level, I would run the razor blade across it side to side. A lot of times this quartz will have a plastic cover over it. This one does not, so I'm going to run the razor blade across it. So we're going to look at that. I do not see any scratches on this quartz at all. Here's the granite razor blade. No scratches at all. This quartz here does have the plastic cover on it, so I'm going to pull that off. Razor blade. No scratches. Blue pearl. No scratches. We'll do the sandpaper now. I'm going to wrap this around my finger, and I'm really going to sand on it. I don't see any scratches, but what I do see is this quartz has got what you call a snakeskin finish on it, and it's not a perfect glassy finish. And if you look closely right here where I sanded, you can see it looks a little shinier and a little more glassy than the rest of it does. So if I had this on a machine going 3,000 RPMs, I think it might take that snakeskin finish off and make it a little more shiny. Absolute black sandpaper. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a dullness on there where it took the shine off of that absolute black. Sometimes that's really hard to see, but if you hold it at the right angle in the light, you can definitely see a difference. Third thing we got is the stone. Let's do it on this red one so we can see it better. This is a 36 stone. We use it to shape the stone when we're fabricating. So if you just happen to slip up and get on top, that's pretty easy to see there. That scratched the crap out of it. Let's try this absolute black again. Scratch the crap out of it. So I would say that they're both pretty equal in the scratch test. is the stain test. This is a product from Akimi called Spider Black. I use it if I have stone that has parts that are a little darker in some spots than it does in others. So we put this on it to try to make the colors blend together. And also if I've got a black stone or a dark stone, I can put this on it and cover up any fissures or imperfections or anything like that. What it's set up to do is soak into the stone and give it that darker appearance. So I'm going to put some of this on the granite and I'm going to put some of it on the quartz, and then I'm going to take denatured alcohol and I'm going to try to wipe it off after it sets for a bit. We're going to take this white quartz here and the Spider Black. I'm going to pour a little of it on there and we're going to let that set for a second. I'm going to take this light granite here. I'm going to pour some Spider Black on it. That one's got some black specks on it, so I'm going to put it on this one here also. And then we'll go ahead and put a little on the red also. I'm going to try not to put it where I scratched it at. Okay, none of that granite has been sealed, nor does any of the quartz have a polish or anything to that nature on it. So we should get a true vision of what happens if something gets stained. While these are setting here, soaking in, we're going to do another test. That's a heat test. A lot of people have these products in the kitchen. They want to know if you can set a hot pot, hot pan, coffee pot, or anything like that on it. And it's important that it doesn't blow out the minerals in your stone or put rings or anything like that around it. So what I've got here is a torch, which is regular propane. It's not matte gas or anything. So we're going to hold this to the granite, and then we're going to hold it to the quartz as well, and we're going to see what happens. All right, we got the torch here. Light it up. This is a quartz. I'm going to hold it to it and see what happens. That was about 10 seconds there. You can definitely see a burn mark there. And I can feel that it changed the texture to my hand. I'm gonna hold it to the granite. Absolutely no difference at all. One more time. Quartz. With this white quartz, I can see just a little bit of yellowing. If you look at it in the light, you can see that there's a little bit of a different texture to it. It's all popped out and puffy. But also on this blue pearl, this darker granite, you can see I've got a white spot here where I held it to it. So both of those, it did a little damage to. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to put a little spray paint on these and see how easy it came off. We'll do this on this red here. We'll do it on this black here. On this white. I'll do it on this one. All right, we're going to look at our Spider Black. We'll take it off. This is denatured. All right, we've got our denatured alcohol here. I'm going to wipe it with a rag first before I spray the denatured alcohol on it and see what it looks like with just a rag. You can see with the granite there, it left the stain. Denatured alcohol. It is still soaked into the granite, which is what you want it to do when you're trying to change the color. This doesn't have a seal on it. I forgot to wipe it before spraying it. As you can see with the quartz, we still got a little ring stain. Even scrubbing the crap out of it, I still got a stain. The red quartz. Red quartz seems to have held up a little better. I hardly see anything on that one. Luna Pearl granite. Really soaked into it. Really changed the look of that stone. Denatured alcohol. Now we got our paint. Quartz. Still in there, even with the razor blade. Granite. Pretty much all off, even without any alcohol. Like I said, this is one of our more dense, harder granites. Red. Luna Pearl. That's surprising to me too. As you can see on the granite with the paint, we have nothing left over. The quartz with the paint, we have big stains on it. Even when I take a razor blade and try to get it off. Even when I continuously spray it with denatured alcohol and use a clean rag to get it off. Whereas the spider black on the quartz leaves nothing. On the granite though, it darkens up the stone a lot, but that's exactly what it's supposed to do on the granite, to darken it up. I'm really surprised at a lot of these results. Like I said, none of this was sealed. So you can see that depending on the type of granite you get, whether it's hard, soft, it's going to affect how things soak into it. The granite was very stain resistant to that paint. It really surprised me. There's no sign of the paint on it whatsoever. Whereas the quartz, which is a man-made product and has no pores and fissures, really stained with the paint. That surprises me also. With the breaking, I was surprised at that. I didn't expect the quartz to break like that and some of the granite to stand up. The scratch, that surprised me too. I didn't expect the granite to scratch as bad as the quartz did. So I would say they're pretty equal on the scratch test. I would say they're even pretty equal on the drop break test, and I would have said quartz was a lot stronger in that area. I would have said granite was a lot stronger in the scratch area, so I would have been wrong on both of them. With the stain area, I think granite came out king on the stain end. I think the quartz did not hold up to that paint, not one bit. And I think the spider black did exactly what it was supposed to do in the granite. And I think if we had had a sealer on it, it would have not soaked in at all. So That's just a little info for you, the difference in granite and quartz, and shows you some of the things that you would do at your home as far as heat, scratching, and all that. So I hope this information was helpful to you, and if you get a chance, like our video and subscribe. Thank you very much.